Javi was falling constantly prey in some situations. And of course, sometimes it's checkmate, right? But you have to learn to recognize those type of situations versus Game & Watch and just straight up not putting yourself in that situation. Exactly. But as we'll talk about Mr. Game & Watch later, because we have two very different characters. One which we already saw in bracket that time piloted by Javi, this time around by Cloudy, and who is, in my opinion, definitely the best Ridley in the planet, Nair. Just both of these players are very, very sick, and Cloudy should be very, very dead.
Oh my goodness gracious, you did not just do that. It was not the single firewall, the one... It was not the single firewall, the one that actually... stopped Cloudy from getting back into the stage. It was the second afterwards that totally stopped the momentum that Cloudy could get to get back into the stage. And I never actually thought that this will be the way that I would see this matchup going on. I know for a fact that really
again. Holy cow!
Really got so many options to
Are you
pressure.
watching?
Now I am watching. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Look at that's just the type of stuff that Nair does. To be fair, the edge guarding game is gonna be a strong suit here for Ridley compared to both Pyra and Mythra, right? We all know that is the sort of cliche thing to say. They have a weak recover, and even though at a top level it's somewhat mitigated by the players just being able to not put themselves in that type of position, as I was saying earlier, it is still relevant because once you do get put in that position, the other player is gonna know how to capitalize on it, and Nair has just given us the perfect example of that. Just landing with down air, which is probably one of the worst moves in the entire game. That thing just straight up doesn't work, except for sort of falling fast, and Cloudy is dead. 3 times he got caught up by the ledge, 3 times he tried to bet into a different option, and I mean he has to, right? But if Nair just is able to read him correctly, if he knows, oh yeah, you're going to recover early because you know that I'm trying to threaten that area, then I just instead play the next level and stay in stage and just forward tilt you, and there was no way Cloudy was living that. First game here going to Nair, and I mean, people love talking about how broken Aegis is, but this is how well these players know each other. And I mean, Cloudy is no slouch, let me tell you. So the fact that Nair is actually managing to keep it like this or make it look this dominant, I mean, I think it goes a long way to show exactly why. But look at that! Cloudy is the one that is going to get that stock. The footstool was a genius play. Just making off stage look like a cakewalk. My goodness.
One thing that I want to point out that I've been thinking about so far and up in this set, we have actually a clear difference between these all 3 players that we have seen so far. It's Mythra, it's Nair, it's Cloudy. They all are experts at ledge trap and edge guard, specifically edge guard. We have seen them go all the way outside of the stage just for the kill. But there's heavy difference between each other. We see that Mythra is an expert at coverage. We see that Nair is an expert at reading, and we see that Cloudy is an expert opportunist. And what comes from that is the fact that the tables have been turned, and Cloudy is just down-rolling and steamrolling this game number 2 against Nair just to take all the advantage that Nair thought that he had from the first game.
I mean, this is just the way that they roll with the momentum, right? Cloudy just able to get that stock and then just again run away with what it felt the entire game. Of course, is not over just yet. Cloudy still has to overcome the hurdles that include dealing with Ridley off stage. If Nair doesn't overextend, then it's going to be very tough for him to actually capitalize on that type of situation. But here, the fourth match, excellent DI from Nair to actually be able to avoid that. I think that the Lightning Buster was the only conversion or the only combo, that there Cloudy had available to actually go or try for the kill. Because of the ceiling, I don't think Optimus would have worked at that percent. The Pyra comes out, the reads from Ridley as well, and the Space Pirate Rush into the Nair, trying to put the final nail on the coffin here for Cloudy, and it's gonna manage to do so. This is starting to smell like a comeback.
it could actually potentially be a comeback. It depends on how Nair plays his cards out. He already knows how to handle Cloudy outside the stage, and he knows Cloudy's pattern to come into getting back into the stage. Now, the thing is whether Nair actually manages to get Cloudy outside of the stage or where he doesn't. That's actually the win condition for Nair at this point. Whether he's able to manage to get Cloudy outside the stage or he doesn't. And currently noticing the fact that Nair is having so much trouble to get any kind of hit in against Cloudy, I'm not entirely sure if Nair can actually make it back on this game number 2.
Oh my god, like the ceiling once more coming into play here, and Cloudy trying to go for those anti-airs. Nair though, with the read and the Space Pirate Rush, he almost gets that, but Cloudy with the perfect reaction at that time, and he goes right into the offense. Nair trying for the forward smash, and he is trying to steal this game away. He has to respect that option. You know that you're gonna lose your stock if you end up interacting in the wrong way, but instead, the hardest of coverage there from Nair, the down smash by the ledge, and it does not only smell like it, it just became it. A comeback through and through for the Ridley player here, 2-0 on the scoreboard for him, and almost closer, a lot closer, I should say, to like just going to phase versus Javi on those losers finals.
Out of respect for our current viewers and our future viewers of YouTube, I actually kept myself silent as I was internally screaming after that comeback. I did not expect that to happen. I actually thought that it was not going to happen. I bet that was not going to happen, and it still managed to happen. What does that tell us from Nair? He's just a master of recognition. He either understands Cloudy's patterns of movement and recovery, or he goes one step ahead and reads every single one of them so far. He notices that Cloudy was gonna take an evasive option. Sadly, he did not take the right evasive option, but he knew that that was gonna come up after that side B whiffed.
And I mean, they did play earlier in bracket, and Nair managed to take it 2-1, so that one in the scoreboard at least should be able to tell you that Cloudy is perfectly able to actually do this. And I think that as of recent, like the score has been more so in the favor of Cloudy rather than Nair, but I mean, it's numbers don't tell the full story here. It's all about these players and what they're able to do. Their perfect recovery, they're just stalling for as long as he could. However, the up B is going to put in a lot more damage here for Nair, just trying to force a recovery, but that downer just has so much range that even an up B as huge as Ridley's is gonna fall prey to that. But if you're gonna fall prey to the reads, then you better come clean versus Ridley, because those smashes are very deadly for the Space Pirate.
One thing for sure is that whenever Nair notices a pattern or tries to exploit a disadvantage, he just tries to lure his opponents into doing something that lets him punish them in a specific, ugly way that takes the most percentage out of them. One thing that it was the fact that Nair just tried to lure Cloudy onto the ledge so he could land that skewer. That didn't happen, of course, but it has happened before. That's why Nair has this precedent, so he could actually go for that. And that's the way that Nair plays. Either lures his opponents, or he just reads them 100 steps ahead.
Pretty much, like, Nair's such a unique type of player, to be sure. Here, just trying to rack some more damage, going for a read. No, just that precision on coverage right by the ledge. However, Cloudy managing to sneak by him and get some more percent, almost closing it out. The downer would have been for sure deadly, regardless of how many jumps. Really does have the Space Pirate Rush one more, and even with the help of the platform, that is still not going to be enough. And this could be Cloudy's comeback, but not if Ridley has something to say about it. And that is gone. That is a nail on the coffin. The final one at that. I mean, they both stand up. They know that it's over. And Nair managing to pull the trigger at just the right time now. From going from one friend to another and possibly into another one. Like, just he's going to have to tear through his own friendships to be able to win this tournament if he can. I mean, both of these guys also know each other very well. I forgot to mention earlier, both Cloudy and Nair with Smashbox. So shoutouts to La S, La V y La X. I really